While the auto industry races toward an all-electric future, Toyota is taking a different approach that challenges the conventional wisdom about electric vehicles. Toyota engineers believe EVs aren't the only path to sustainability and have developed an engine that's making waves in the EV world. But why is Toyota resisting the electric trend when so many others are committed? Does Toyota know something the rest of the industry doesn't? Stay tuned as we explore Toyota's bold stance, which has shocked experts. While companies like Ford, Volkswagen and Mercedes promise to phase out gas-powered cars, Toyota is saying, not so fast. The company argues that the world isn't ready for an electric-only future, and that pushing it too quickly could cause more harm than good. While its competitors scramble to release EVs, Toyota is questioning whether electric cars are truly the only way forward. So why is Toyota so resistant? Is it just protecting its business? Or is there something deeper at play? This is the same company that introduced the Prius in 1997, the world's first mass-market hybrid. Back then, hybrids were a radical idea, but Toyota proved that combining a gas engine with an electric motor could work. The Prius set the stage for cleaner energy, long before EVs were even considered seriously. Despite leading the hybrid revolution, Toyota has been hesitant to fully embrace electric cars. While companies like Tesla and Lucid grab headlines, Toyota continues refining hybrid tech and investing in alternatives like hydrogen. Critics call this hesitation, but Toyota argues that jumping into an all-electric future too soon could leave millions of drivers without practical options. In 2021, Toyota refused to sign the COP26 climate agreement, which called for automakers to stop selling gas-powered cars by 2040. Toyota argued that the world wasn't ready for such drastic change. This sparked backlash, with critics questioning how a company that revolutionized hybrids could oppose EVs. But Toyota stood firm, saying the push for 100% EV adoption overlooked critical factors. Toyota warns that the lack of infrastructure in many regions makes a global shift to EVs unrealistic. Charging stations, stable grids, and resources for EV maintenance are limited in many countries. Forcing the switch could leave millions stranded, with Toyota prioritizing reliable transportation in areas where electricity is scarce. Akio Toyoda, Toyota's former CEO, wasn't against EVs, but believed they weren't the solution for every driver. He argued that EVs were overhyped and rushing their adoption could create problems. Under his leadership, Toyota focused on hybrid tech, hydrogen power, and improving combustion engines. Toyota believes combining technologies like hybrids, hydrogen, and improved gasoline engines is the best way to reduce emissions while keeping cars affordable. By not fully committing to EVs, Toyota is positioning itself for those who need alternatives. But this strategy comes with risks. If EV adoption happens faster than Toyota expects, the company could fall behind. But if the shift proves difficult, Toyota could be the company that saw the problem first. Now, let's talk about the real issues with electric cars. EVs seem like the perfect solution to fight climate change, but there are hidden challenges. Can we produce enough batteries for all these cars? What happens when millions need to charge their EVs at the same time? Toyota isn't alone in raising concerns. Even EV supporters are asking tough questions. So, are electric vehicles really the future? Toyota believes they can be if we tackle the issues they bring. And that's exactly why the company is taking a different path. Stay with us as we break it down. 830 to 836. Electric vehicles, EVs, currently make up just 1% of the global car market. But what happens when that number rises to 10%, 20%, or even 50%? The surge in EVs would lead to a massive increase in electricity demand. Toyota estimates that the US alone would need to boost power production by 40% by 2030, requiring dozens of new power plants. And that's just one country. So where is all this electricity supposed to come from? Power grids are already struggling, with California facing blackouts and Europe dealing with energy shortages. Adding millions of EVs to this overburdened grid could cause major issues, especially during extreme weather. Plus, most grids still rely on fossil fuels like coal and natural gas, meaning even if your EV doesn't burn gas, the electricity fueling it likely does, making EVs less green in areas without widespread renewable energy. Then there's the issue with EV batteries. Lithium, a critical material for EV batteries, is in short supply, and mining it comes with significant environmental costs. Most of the world's lithium is extracted from Chile, Argentina, and Australia, consuming massive amounts of water and damaging ecosystems. In some regions, lithium mining has drained freshwater supplies, leaving communities without water. Moreover, EV batteries rely on nickel, cobalt, and manganese, materials mined under unethical conditions, including child labor in countries like the Democratic Republic of Congo. While EVs don't emit tailpipe pollution, their batteries come with an environmental cost that's often overlooked in the push for greener energy. After all the batteries are made, there's another concern. What happens when they reach the end of their lifespan? Right now, there's no effective system for recycling EV batteries at scale. Most last 8 to 15 years before becoming hazardous waste. Without proper recycling, we may soon face a massive waste crisis. Cost is another major barrier. Even with government incentives, EVs remain expensive. The average price of an EV in the US is over $50,000, while a gas-powered car costs around $35,000. The high cost is driven by the expensive batteries, and with materials like lithium in short supply, prices won't be dropping anytime soon. Subsidies help now, but when they end, many people, particularly in developing countries, won't be able to afford an EV. Toyota is cautious about fully committing to EVs, arguing that pushing them onto the market without addressing these barriers could leave millions without a practical option. Charging is another challenge. A standard home charger can take anywhere from 8 to 40 hours to fully charge an EV, depending on battery size. Fast chargers are available, but they're expensive and still not widespread. For those without private parking, charging can be even more difficult. Unlike gas stations, which are everywhere, EV charging stations are still being developed. Currently, the US has around 160,000 public chargers, but experts say we'll need at least 10 times that number to support a fully electric fleet. Building this infrastructure will take time, money, and government support. Given these challenges, Toyota believes betting everything on electric cars is risky. The company isn't saying EVs are bad, but rather that they're not the only solution. Toyota advocates for a multifaceted approach, combining hybrid technologies, hydrogen-powered cars, and improved gasoline engines to reduce emissions without abandoning traditional engines. While other automakers focus solely on EVs, Toyota is investing in hydrogen-powered internal combustion engines. This isn't just a test. Toyota is serious about hydrogen and believes it could eliminate the need for fully electric vehicles. The concept seems almost too good to be true. Clean energy, fast refueling, and the same powerful performance people love in traditional cars. But can hydrogen truly compete with EVs? Toyota has already developed working prototypes of hydrogen combustion cars, such as the Corolla Cross H2 and hydrogen-powered GR Yaris. These vehicles use modified gasoline engines but run on compressed hydrogen instead of liquid fuel. Hydrogen burns differently than gasoline. It ignites faster, burns hotter, and produces minimal emissions. Toyota had to make significant adjustments to the engine to handle the higher combustion temperature and rework the fuel system to accommodate hydrogen. Despite the challenges, Toyota successfully created hydrogen combustion cars that perform just like traditional vehicles, but without carbon emissions. Hydrogen combustion engines offer several advantages. They provide quick refueling, strong acceleration, and a familiar driving experience, all without emissions. One major criticism of EVs is that they don't feel the same. While EVs offer instant torque, many drivers miss the sound and feel of a traditional engine. Hydrogen combustion retains that experience. Plus, hydrogen cars can refuel in just 90 seconds to 5 minutes, whereas EVs take much longer to charge. There's no waiting. Just fuel up and go. Hydrogen also solves the range anxiety issue that EVs face. Unlike EVs, which require careful planning on long trips, hydrogen cars offer a range similar to that of gasoline vehicles. You can drive for hundreds of miles without worrying about finding a charging station. Moreover, hydrogen performs better in extreme weather. Cold temperatures can drain EV batteries, reducing their range by nearly half, and heat can cause overheating. Hydrogen, however, stays stable in both cold and hot conditions, meaning it won't suffer from the same performance issues. Electric vehicles are also much heavier than gasoline cars due to their large batteries, reducing efficiency. Hydrogen combustion engines don't need big batteries, making them lighter and more efficient, which improves driving dynamics. Some drivers prefer the lighter feel of hydrogen-powered cars over the heavy weight of EVs. However, hydrogen combustion engines still face significant challenges. The biggest issue is infrastructure. There simply aren't enough hydrogen refueling stations. In the US, most hydrogen stations are located in California, and Europe has a few more, but availability is limited. Without more stations, hydrogen cars can't compete with the convenience of gasoline or even EV charging networks. Toyota is working to expand hydrogen infrastructure, but building enough stations will take time and investment. Another challenge is hydrogen production. Most hydrogen is produced from natural gas, which still releases carbon emissions. Toyota is pushing for green hydrogen, made from renewable sources like wind and solar, but this process is still expensive and difficult to scale. Until green hydrogen becomes more widely available, the environmental benefits of hydrogen cars won't be fully realized. Despite these hurdles, Toyota believes hydrogen combustion has a future. Unlike many automakers betting everything on EVs, Toyota envisions a future with multiple clean energy solutions. This includes hybrids, hydrogen-powered cars, and improved gasoline engines. Toyota believes that a future where different technologies coexist, rather than one dominating, will provide drivers with more choices and better solutions for the long term. 2148 to 2152. Toyota believes hydrogen combustion has a future, despite the challenges. While many automakers focus entirely on EVs, Toyota envisions a world where multiple clean energy solutions coexist. Hydrogen combustion engines could keep traditional repair shops alive, unlike EVs, which require specialized knowledge. In an all-electric world, independent shops may struggle, but hydrogen engines can be serviced just like gasoline vehicles. Hydrogen replacing EVs might sound far-fetched, but Toyota is playing the long game. The real question is whether hydrogen can scale fast enough to compete with EVs. The EV market is booming with major investments in battery tech and charging networks, while hydrogen remains in its early stages. Toyota isn't solely focused on hydrogen, but is also blending electric power with traditional engines through hybrids, offering the best of both worlds. A key factor in EV growth is charging convenience. Electric vehicle chargers are easy to install in homes, parking lots, and gas stations. The US has over 160,000 public chargers, with more added every year. However, hydrogen refueling stations are harder to build and more expensive due to specialized equipment and storage systems. Only about 60 hydrogen stations exist in the US, and their installation costs millions, whereas home EV chargers can be set up for a few $100s. Hydrogen fuel is also costly. At $12 per kilogram, it costs $60 to $80 to fill up a hydrogen-powered car, compared to just $5 to $15 to charge an EV. Hydrogen production remains problematic as most is made using natural gas, still emitting carbon. Toyota is pushing for green hydrogen from renewable sources, but scaling it is expensive and difficult. Even if Toyota overcomes these challenges, the question remains: will people embrace hydrogen cars? Many are familiar with EVs, but hydrogen is still a mystery for many. Toyota needs to educate the public and prove hydrogen is as reliable as EVs. Other automakers and governments are investing in hydrogen's potential, but Toyota continues to innovate with hybrid technology, which has been proven and remains essential for millions of drivers. Since 1997, hybrid technology has evolved from a novelty to a mainstream solution. While others focus on EVs, Toyota is doubling down on hybrids, which don't need charging infrastructure and use less fuel than traditional cars. For those who want both electric power and gas, plug-in hybrids, PHEVs, offer the best of both worlds, particularly in areas with unstable grids. This is why Toyota continues investing in hybrids while others focus on EVs. Hybrids extend to larger vehicles like trucks and buses. Battery-powered trucks are limited by long charging times and heavy batteries. Hydrogen has the potential to revolutionize heavy-duty vehicles. Toyota is developing hydrogen-powered trucks that can refuel in minutes and travel long distances. In California and Japan, hydrogen-powered trucks are already in use, and Toyota's hydrogen fuel cell technology is no longer just a concept. But infrastructure remains a hurdle, and hydrogen stations must be built along major shipping routes to make hydrogen trucks viable. While EVs are important, Toyota isn't abandoning them. They're developing solid-state batteries to make EVs more affordable and efficient. Toyota believes the world can't switch to EVs overnight. Some will choose EVs, others hybrids, and some hydrogen. Toyota envisions a future where battery EVs, hydrogen vehicles, and hybrids coexist, each serving different needs, like how solar didn't replace all other energy. Thinking about a hybrid Toyota or hydrogen vehicles? Share your thoughts, like, share, subscribe, and check out our next video.